Hello world, Wendy from Cali here, and we are getting ready to do another mixed mani. And this one is for a contest this year that Mixed Mani Challenge. Tara Stoddard, if you don't follow her in Facebook and on YouTube, go check her out. She's actually one of the folks that have inspired me to start filming these videos on YouTube. But she has this challenge, Mixed Mani Challenge, and this upcoming week it is hot cocoa nails. So that's my inspiration there. And I'm going to move this. All of these sets here, some are new that I just newly opened, and some are leftovers from previous manis. Just a disclaimer, Color Street nail strips are a one-time use product. However, those of us that are ultra fans and are super frugal will try our best, if we have leftovers, to either heat seal them and save them for a rainy day, or throw them in our freezer, which I've never done. Might have to try that one day. Heat sealing them, from experience, I'll tell you, sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. So sometimes if I didn't get all the air out of the packages when I heat sealed them, they will dry out and then they won't stick. Or if I took all the air out and it's too hot here in Cali, then it ends up being all melty and sometimes very hard to use. So just letting you know that they are a one-time use product, and there's no guarantee that you can use them again if you open them up and have leftovers and you seal them and put them away. So just letting you know that I'm prepping my nails right now. Each Color Street set comes, if it's not an accent pack like this tiny one here, comes with a nail file as well as this alcohol wipe that you can use to prep your nails. It's basically getting rid of any oils or whatever on your hands so that the nails can stick better. Some folks don't even use those pads because they're kind of drying. They may prepare ahead of time, washing their hands with Dawn dish soap, and then do their manis. Today, I am using the alcohol wipe just to show you guys that. But the two sets newly opening for today's mani is Baking Memories, which is a limited edition accent pack that was released this year in 2022 for the holidays. And then Carmine Shine is a solid color that was released with the fall collection this year in 2022. Trying to kind of mimic that cup with the Plaid About You over the Carmine Shine. So we'll see if that ends up looking like the hot cocoa that I showed you earlier there. And then I have leftover Glazed Over, which is kind of like that trend that has been going around with the glazed donut nail look. So it's kind of got a little sheen to it. That's going to end up being our marshmallows. At least I hope so. And this right here is Upper East Side. It's kind of a cocoa brown color. Solid color that I'm hoping will mimic the hot chocolate, the hot cocoa. And then because I like glitter, I'm going to use Glittersweet to kind of top it all off so that it has kind of like a snowy feel for the winter. So that is the plan. We'll see if it actually turns out. Okay, so let's get started. I do have my glass nail file that I like to use. For Color Street, if your hands are cold, you want to make sure that you warm them up a bit because they apply best to room temperature hands. And so doing manis in the winter time is kind of hard. I think some folks have like heating pads for their hands, which I need to invest in that. Maybe in January, when I have a new spending budget. Right now, Christmas has taken over, so all of the holiday presents have been bought and budget has been spent. So no extra for spending on anything else. So yeah. All right. I didn't really plan this fully out, so you're going to kind of struggle with me here as I kind of make it up on the fly. I just know that I do want the hot cocoa effect of the cup with the hot cocoa color and the marshmallows, but I like this accent pack, the gingerbread and the little candy cane swirl. I need to incorporate that somewhere in this mani, so I'm trying to figure out, like, placement wise where that would be best. So I'm thinking I'm going to end up with the peppermint swirl based on the size of the strip. It's going to end up on my pinky, and I think the gingerbread's going to end up on my pointer, and then the rest are going to be my hot cocoa. So here we go. I'm going to start with the accent pack, since we know that there's only 2 nails that I need to do with that. Now, if you're new to Color Street or new to my channel, Color Street is 100% dry nail polish. So if you hate the wait for dry time with conventional nail polish, you'll love Color Street. But like I said, it has to be at room temperature. So if your hands are cold, you want to kind of warm it up a little bit. And in the summertime, if it's too hot, you want to kind of make sure it's cooler so that you will be able to put your nails on easily without them being like super like messed up or like, yeah, I don't know how to explain it, and I apologize, I'm a little distracted because the door here at home keeps opening and closing, and I apologize for that background noise. But yes, so here we go. And then Tara does this sometimes with her nail sets, where she keeps these little nail sticks of the nail sets she's used. And so I kind of adopted that from what she does, and I'm going to be putting that new sets on these nail sticks as well. So you'll see me do that with Baking Memories and Carmine Shine. So this is Baking Memories. So as we do our mani here, let's talk about life. So I don't know if you guys have ever felt this, but sometimes I feel like we're living in a simulation. We're in a sim. And why do I say that? It's because certain things just happen by coincidence, like a lot of the times. And I know that this week, for me at least, has been quite a struggle because Aunt Flo has been in town, and Aunt Flo is notorious for wreaking havoc on my hormones, on my mental and emotional state, and all of that good stuff. So, long story short, it's been a struggle, and plus, the past week before that, so over Thanksgiving, one of my nieces had sneezed right in my face, and right at that moment, I was like, oh gosh, I'm gonna get sick. And sure enough, I did. And so, sick for a full week, having to work remotely at home for work, and then back at the office full time for a week with Aunt Flo in town has been a little bit of a struggle, but we made it through. And yesterday, while at work, there was a phone call that I took with my manager, and it really hit home. And I won't give any details for privacy reasons, but what was discussed really just hit home, because just the things that have been going on in the past few years, and even before that, has been, a big roller coaster. I'm sure a lot of you out there, it's the same for you as well. So I'm preaching to the choir, but, dealing with a lot of stuff with the pandemic, and even before the pandemic, dealing with depression, all of that has been a little bit of a challenge. But in 2019, my dad had a heart attack. Luckily, my panda bear and my mom were at home when it occurred. My mom had screamed for Panda Bear to, help, and he called 911, and, my dad was taken to the hospital, and, luckily, luckily he was taken to the hospital in time, and, there was a lot of blockage from what the reports showed, but he survived, and, that was kind of a wake-up call for us as far as health goes, and so, Panda Bear, myself, and my dad all went on this journey to health at that point, and, then, of course, the pandemic hit, which actually allowed for more time without having to commute to and from the office, for us to even do more as far as pushing it the limit for working out and fasting. We did keto. We did a lot of different diets before we my panda bear found Dr. Ray Pete. May he rest in peace. But with Dr. Ray Pete, we are trying to fix the hormones and metabolism rather than trying to fad diet our way to health. And it's actually been helping a lot. When my dad had his heart attack, he had a ton of different follow-up doctor visits after that. And one of the visits, they said that they found a mass growing in his prostate. And so it was kind of alarming to hear that, who wants to hear that you possibly have cancer? Nobody does. So, yeah, scary stuff. But, of course, doctors are going to almost always recommend surgery and or chemotherapy. And I have to preface this, I am not a nurse, I am not a doctor. None of the things I'm saying here is, my recommendation for anything. It's just telling you what we've done and what we've gone through. So please, I'm going to say that so that, this is one of the reasons actually why I took down all of my Journey to Health vlogs, because I just worry that people are going to take something you say and then run with it without really doing the research and, doing their own, looking into stuff and finding out what works for their body, right? Because every body is different. Everybody is different. Every body is different and everybody is different. So one way of living, one way of eating, one way of, exercising, all of that may work for someone, one person, and not work for another. Also, we found it's very different for a female to try to fix her metabolism and her weight loss journey than a male. And I'm sure if you are as old as I am, you may have seen commercials about that as well, where it's oh, this couple went on a diet, they gave up soda. The man lost 10 pounds and the woman gained 2 or something like that, something weird like that. And that does happen. It's very strange. So, this is one of the big things why, dieting does not work. Changing your whole entire lifestyle on a journey to health works better. And it's always a struggle every single day. And it's more of like a challenge. I don't want to say it's a struggle because that's kind of putting it out there that, it can't be done and all that. It's a challenge. It's a huge challenge, and you have to be up for the challenge every single day. And as humans, we absolutely love comfort. I'm a huge creature of comfort. I'm a Taurus, stubborn bull, homebody, you know, loves food, beautiful things, comfort, all that. I totally embody the Taurus mentality. So, yeah. And I didn't get fat overnight. If you look at pictures of me as a child all the way to as an adult, you'll see that I've always been a little bit on the bigger side. And you know what? So what? It's okay. I have a relatively healthy life. I've done half marathons. I've, gone to the gym a lot to do classes before and really enjoyed it and kept up with all of the, skinnier gym rats and all that. So, I can keep up with them, but I'm just bigger. And sometimes, people look bigger and they're like, oh yeah, not healthy. And that's not necessarily true. So anyways, it's taken a lot of work, to really, learn to love myself as I am, and understand that I do need to work on losing some weight. So that's where I'm at. That's my story. But in our journey to health, through changing our eating habits, and, our lifestyle in general, as far as being active and all of that, my dad was able to somehow get rid of that mass that was found in his prostate, because at one of his more recent doctor visits, they said that there's no trace of what they had previously found. So that in itself is just a miracle. And no surgery was involved, no chemotherapy, no medications, no drugs. Granted, there are supplements and some other things that my panda bear provides to my dad daily, as for myself as well, and panda bear. But overall, we are healing ourselves through the natural way of healing, by just changing our lifestyle and putting the right things in our bodies. So putting the right things in our bodies doesn't mean, oh, I'm only going to eat fruits and vegetables and whatever. No, there's got to be a balance of everything, right? And we still have the occasional, treats. And most of the time, you won't see me post, the healthier foods on IG or on Facebook or anything like that, because who wants to take a look at healthy foods? I mean, I guess there are some health nuts that would love to see pictures of a salad or whatever, but those aren't, to me, that's not my food porn. My food porn is like, for example, the pineapple tamal that my panda bear found for me today. I threw it out there. It's since April. I'll tell you, since April. And this is all my friend Diane's fault because was it last year? No, not April. Since August. Okay, so for my birthday, my friend Na and Diane, we had celebrated my birthday, and Diane had gotten some pineapple and strawberry tamales and brought them. And I've never had fruit tamales before. And so, age 41, never had a sweet tamal before, right? And so I was just blown away because I didn't realize that they had come in the sweet form with fruit before, and I really, really enjoyed it. Well, fast forward to, craving it for months on end and not being able to find find the tamales, and it's been a struggle. And I keep telling Panda Bear, hey, we have a shopping list that we share with his sister, my sister-in-law, where we put things that we want purchased, and those fruit, pineapple, strawberry tamales have been on that list for months. Okay, and we just haven't been able to find them, and it's been a struggle. Anyways, so I posted on a Facebook group, Monterey Park Life, because, I live here in Monterey Park. And I was just like, all right, folks. I'm like, anybody have any recommendations as to where I can find sweet, delicious fruit tamales? And we got a bunch of responses. And one of them was a dud. Panda Bear wanted to surprise me this morning by getting some of the fruit tamales before I woke up. And so he went out, but he the first place he went to was a no-go. There was no luck there. And then he ended up at this bakery, and he sent me a photo via text, which is actually what woke me up this morning. And it was a picture of or a video actually of this bakery, and I was like, what's going on? Like, I was confused because I just woke up and then he wasn't in bed, so I was like, huh? And then I realized what he was doing, and I was like, oh my gosh. And so I was like, oh, are you there to get fruit tamales? And so he was showing me all these pictures of the stuff that this bakery had, and they had cakes, they had pan dulce, they had like all different things, and I was just like getting really excited. Really good food porn there. So I was just like surprised because I was like, didn't he say we're on a diet for the rest of so Thanksgiving was kind of a wreck. We had Thanksgiving lunch at my work, and we made way too much. And so, me being the person that I am, I was like, oh no, none of this food can go to waste. So once, my coworkers and all that had stopped eating the leftovers, I packed them all up and took them home, and we were like determined to finish them. And so that was the week right before Thanksgiving. And then Thanksgiving rolls around, and of course, my sister-in-law made a beast of a feast. So we were working on finishing that for another week or so. So needless to say, a lot of weight had been gained from Thanksgiving. So that was our refeed time. And it's like, okay, we got to get back into business, because if we continue on this path, we're going to end up gaining like 20 pounds. And that is not the goal of how we live our lives. So, we're supposed to be on after the refeed, on a kind of a break from eating very much. So I was surprised that he went to this bakery, and he was showing me all of these pan dulces, and I was like, oh my gosh, is he gonna bring home everything? But luckily, he brought home just one pan dulce, one tamal, and one like savory breakfast torta for the four of us to share. So it was like cut up into fours. So we can get a taste of everything, but not go overboard. So I was very happy with that. Plus, we took Buddha for a walk today because Buddha was yelling and screaming and demanding that we take him for a walk. For those that don't know, Buddha is my dog. He's a Maltese poodle mix. He's 14 years old. He went through a very, very traumatic situation, which I filmed his healing process. We took him to the animal hospital, and, they were like, oh, well, you might need to go to the specialist, and it's going to cost about $10,000 to just find out what's wrong with him. And we were like, heck no. One, we don't have that kind of money. Two, Buddha's already old. We're going to see if we can repeat him back to health. And I'll tell you this much. Buddha is still very much with us now. And I thank my panda bear and I thank God, honestly. I don't know if everyone believes in God, but I do. I'm agnostic. I do believe in a higher being, but I'm not religious. But I'm just so glad that we had been on this journey to health, and that my panda bear was just at the point where he knew, or he figured out how to take care of our Buddha. And so Buddha is very much alive and well now. If you want to see some of the things that he had to go through when he had that incident, you can click on the other videos and check those out. But anyways, so life is a sim. It seems that everything seems to happen for a reason, and we can't take our health for granted. We can't take anyone for granted. And there is no guarantee in life. And we make plans and God laughs at us, right? And so I was supposed to be going to go visit my brother and his family today, but that ended up getting derailed because of COVID. Now, not me, at least not that I know of, but found out somebody that I was near had tested positive for COVID. Even though I wasn't very near to that person, still in the same room, and found out that they tested positive. And so for precautionary reasons, our trip to go visit my brother and his family was canceled. And so at first I was really, really sad about that. But you know what? You can't do anything about that. Like, we got to make sure we stay healthy and keep each other safe. And so, took it as a sign that, okay, not really in the cards for us to go see my brother and his family, but let's get some other stuff done. So today's been a day full of just spending time, quality time with my panda bear and with my parents and all of that. And because I was, for some reason, not able to sleep very well last night, I was able to nap today, which was amazing. So I napped. I'm saving this to put on something else for later because it's so cute. I don't want to waste it. But yeah, so I got to nap, which was great. And now I'm just putting on my next mixed mani for this challenge. And here, chatting it up to the world, whoever ends up landing on this video. So thanks for watching if you got this far. But yeah, life is a sim, and everything has a lesson in it. So if you take the time to really pay attention to what's happening and try to think it through, you might be able to figure out what that lesson is that is being thrown at you. So yeah. I hope everyone is still staying safe and being precautious out there. Now, that doesn't mean that you end up, hiding away in your house and being a hermit. That's not living life. But do take precautionary measures. If you know you're not feeling well or you have symptoms, please stay home. Don't be selfish and go out there and spread your germs. During the holiday season, it's pretty much a guarantee that some of us are going to get sick because the weather changes and there's a lot more gatherings and all that. But we are all here and we can do our parts in trying to keep everyone safe. So please, 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 just be kind and be considerate of others. So that's that. I kind of missed this section right here just a little bit, and I don't know if that's going to bother me a lot or not. I do have the other piece, and I could possibly put this on, but no, I'm not going to do it. It's not really noticeable to anyone else except me, and I think I got to get over that perfectionist part of me and move on. And now my hands are feeling a little bit warmer, so that is good. So I'm done with the baking memories. Next, I'm going to go and let's start compiling that hot cocoa image. So I'll bring that up on the screen again just so we can all see it and remember what I'm trying to replicate. So the Carmine Shine and Plaid About You is going to make the cup, and then the upper east side is going to make the hot cocoa, and then Glazed Over is going to be the marshmallows, and then I'm just going to add Glittersweet just because. Why not? I'm extra, and glitter, there's always room for glitter. So, alright, let's get started. First, we will do Carmine Shine. And that's going to go as a base on all of them. So, I know I asked this already, but I'm going to ask it again because now we're getting down to just 2 more weekends, counting this weekend before Christmas. Because Christmas Eve, for those who celebrate Christmas Eve and open presents on Christmas Eve, that's what my panda bear and my sister-in-law, that's what we do. We're going to be opening up all the presents with the kiddos on Christmas Eve, and so that's Saturday this year, so that's great. So that's going to be exciting, and really looking forward to seeing the reactions of the kiddos to the gifts that they got this year. They're not going to have as many as they had in previous years because we're not trying to spoil them. But at the same time, we're hoping that what we did get them, they will love. So, quality over quantity, right? So Christmas Eve and then Christmas is on Sunday. So for this year, I get to have Monday after Christmas off, which is going to be great, actually. Some time off after all the family activities. I get to actually have some breathing room to relax. So yeah. But for those of you out there, are you done with your holiday shopping? Have you wrapped all of your gifts? Do you guys like wrapping the gifts, or do you guys like using gift bags because it's easier? I'll tell you, I really am not the biggest fan. I suck at wrapping. Um, there are certain times where I might like have a good day where I wrap and it's like, oh, that actually looks halfway decent. But the majority of the time when I try to wrap gifts, it's horrendous. It doesn't come out great. Um, if I'm wrapping for kids, it's fine, but I get embarrassed when I wrap gifts for like friends or anything like that. So typically, like for the adults, I end up buying gift bags and being the lazy butt of using a gift bag. But a gift bag is not as fun as far as seeing them open them up and just hearing the wrapping paper, like the ripping of the wrapping paper and all that. That is way more fun to experience. And so this year, pretty much the majority of the gifts will be gift wrapped. But I haven't started that yet. I don't know if any of you have started, are finished, haven't even started shopping. Where are you guys at as far as your holiday shopping goes? I typically am not the biggest fan of Christmas, I'll tell you that much, because it's so commercialized that, and there's so much pressure, so much stress in having to figure out like who to buy gifts for, what to buy them, and it's overwhelming. Um, I personally um, I like when, like, for birthdays and special occasions and stuff like that, I like taking my friends out to eat and treating them out to an experience rather than giving gifts. Giving gifts is just so hard for me because I mentioned this in another video. I'm like super particular as far as what gifts like I end up liking, and so I keep thinking that that's going to be the same for other folks. But you know, uh, it's always the thought that counts, right? So for me, whenever I just see something and it reminds me of someone, I end up getting it for them. That's usually how I roll. So Christmas is just not fun for me. The only thing that's fun about Christmas, besides, you know, spending time with family, eating good food, I really like Christmas lights, like a lot. And so some of the neighborhoods in the nearby cities, I love. Panda Bear will take me to, and we'll go and just see all the lights. I love that. And I do love the smell of Christmas as far as like pine trees and all of that. But I haven't in my life like ever had a real like Christmas tree. My family didn't really celebrate Christmas all that often when I was growing up. We did have an artificial tree, but Christmas was not like a big deal. Um, None of the American holidays were really that big of a deal with my family when I was growing up. So now as an adult, I kind of like embrace my favorite holidays. So my favorite holidays, Thanksgiving tops it because I love Thanksgiving, being thankful for all that we've got. Three F's: family, food, and fun. And, you know, it's Thanksgiving is just the best. I love fall too. Fall is my favorite time of year. So here in Cali, it's not as colorful in most places as in other states, which I am sad about because I love the changing colors